Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into artificial intelligence. It's everywhere, evolving incredibly fast. Our mission here is to give you a real shortcut to understanding the core trends driving AI's, unprecedented pace and impact. We're drawing heavily from that big May 2025 report, Trends Artificial Intelligence, from Mary Meeker and the team at Bond D. We want to pull out the key insights, the surprising stuff, so you walk away really informed without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Absolutely. And the central theme, I think, the thing that really jumps out from that report is just the speed and scale. It's genuinely unprecedented. Makes even the early internet boom look, well, kind of slow in comparison.
That's a big statement. I mean, the internet felt lightning fast back then. Remember Vint Cerf's quote about internet years being like dog years?
Right, like 7 years in one.
Exactly. But this report says AI trends are materially faster. So like dog years for dog years, it's almost hard to picture. What data really makes that comparison so stark, especially on the user adoption side?
Well, if you dig into the numbers, it becomes really clear. Take user adoption. ChatGPT hit 365 billion annual searches. That happened by 2024, just 2 years after launch.
2 years. Okay, how does that compare?
Google took 11 years until 2009 to reach that same volume.
11 years versus 2. Wow.
Yeah, it's not just a bit faster, it's a whole different league. It suggests AI isn't just another tech wave, it's fundamentally changing user habits almost instantly because it's just so useful right out of the gate.
That's staggering. Are there other numbers that really hammer home the speed, like raw user counts?
Oh yeah, it gets even wilder there. ChatGPT hit 100 million users in 0.2 years.
0.2 years? That's like what? Just over 2 months?
Basically, yeah. Compare that. TikTok took almost a year, 0.9 years. Instagram, 2.5 years.
Okay.
The iPhone, 1.3 years. Even something revolutionary like the Ford Model T took around 2,500 days.
So AI adoption is happening literally an order of magnitude faster than anything we've seen before.
Pretty much. It's off the charts.
And it's not just the speed within, say, the US. It's the global reach, too, right? The report says AI didn't diffuse slowly like the internet did.
Exactly. That's a key difference. The internet sort of radiated out from the USA. ChatGPT just landed everywhere all at once. The data shows simultaneous growth across most regions right from the start.
Which means?
Which means by 2025, just 3 years in, something like 90% of ChatGPT app users were outside North America.
90% in 3 years. How long did the internet take for that kind of global spread?
23 years.
Mm-hmm.
It took until 2022 for the internet to hit that same 90% non-North American user base.
Okay, so AI is fundamentally a global phenomenon right from launch. That's a huge shift.
Definitely. It skipped the slow diffusion phase entirely.
And there's that interesting pattern in household penetration they mentioned, like technology adoption speeding up with each cycle.
Yeah, that's fascinating. The report highlights this trend where each major tech cycle seems to ramp up adoption in roughly half the time of the previous one.
So how does the AI era fit in?
It's projected to hit 50% household penetration in the USA in about 3 years.
3 years. Compared to
the mobile internet era, which took 6 years, the desktop internet era, 12 years, the PC era, 20 years, and the second industrial revolution, something like 42 years.
So it's like Moore's Law, but for adoption speed, roughly halving each time.
Kind of looks that way, yeah. The AI adoption timeline is incredibly compressed.
That kind of speed doesn't just happen, though. What's the foundation? What's enabling this incredible acceleration?
You're right, it's not random. It's built on a really solid base. First, you've got the existing global internet infrastructure, 5.5 billion people online.
Okay, the rails are already there.
Exactly. Then you have over 3 decades of digital data. Just vast amounts of text, images, code for these models to learn from.
Right, the training fuel.
And then critically, the breakthroughs in the models themselves, like OpenAI's ChatGPT. When it launched in November 2022, it had that incredibly easy-to-use, super fast interface.
So existing infrastructure, massive data sets, and a breakthrough user experience.
Precisely. It was like the perfect storm for hyper-adoption.
Okay, so that explains the user side. But what about the tech development itself? The report mentions compounding factors, exponential growth. Unpack that a bit.
Yeah, the underlying tech growth is explosive. Take the size of training data sets. They've been growing about 260% annually over the last 15 years.
260% growth per year for 15 years.
And the compute power used for training these models,
Mm.
measuring FLOPs, the calculation speed.
Yeah.
That's seen 360% annual growth over the same period. It's just staggering amounts of processing power being thrown at this.
Okay, so way more data and way more power to process it. But it's not just brute force, is it? The algorithms are getting better too?
Absolutely. The gains from just better algorithms are around 200% annually over the last 9 years.
Wow.
And the AI supercomputers themselves are getting better, adding another 150% annual performance gain over the last 6 years. All this means the number of powerful AI models being released, that's up 167% annually over the last 4 years. It's this self-feeding cycle of improvement.
That pace is just incredible. But I mean, who's paying for all this? This sounds insanely expensive. Where's the money coming from?
That's where the CapEx figures come in, capital expenditure. It's just up and to the right, as they say.
Yeah.
The big six U.S. tech companies, Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon Web Services, Meta.
Yeah.
They boosted their CapEx by 63% year over year in 2024 alone, reached $212 billion
$212 billion.
in 1 year.
Yep. And that spending now represents 15% of their total revenue. 10 years ago, it was only 8%.
So they're shifting a much bigger slice of their pie towards this AI infrastructure.
Totally. It's a massive strategic bet. They see AI as the core engine for future growth. And this spending directly correlates with usage growth, like that estimated 200% jump in ChatGPT weekly active users from 2023 to 2024. The money is following the users. And it's not just people using ChatGPT for fun, right? The report says adoption is surging everywhere. Consumers, developers, businesses,
Right.
even governments.
Definitely. We saw the consumer numbers, like 55% of 18 to 29-year-olds using ChatGPT by early 2025.
Right.
But look at traditional businesses. Bank of America's Erica Assistant. Over 2 billion client interactions by Feb 2025.
2 billion, that's huge engagement.
Or JP Morgan estimating a 65% value gain from AML by 2025. These aren't small projects.
What about other sectors, like healthcare or retail?
Kaiser Permanente rolled out an AI scribe for 10,000 doctors and staff. It's already summarized over 10 million patient visits. Think of the time saved.
That's a massive efficiency gain.
Even Yum. Brands, KFC, Taco Bell, their AI platforms in over 25,000 restaurants. It's spreading fast into operations everywhere.
And beyond business, academia, government.
Yeah, universities like Arizona State and Oxford are launching big AI initiatives.
Yeah.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has an AI strategy. And look at medicine. FDA-approved AI medical devices jumped from basically 1 in 1995 to over 223 by 2023.
Wow.
Plus, AI drug discovery is cutting R&D timelines by 30 to 80%. That's potentially life-saving acceleration.
So given all this foundational speed and investment, where does AI go next? The report talks about AI agents and the big one, AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. So this sounds like AI moving from answering to doing.
That's exactly it. We're moving beyond just conversational AI like chatbots towards intelligent agents. These agents can, as the report says, reason, act, and complete multi-step tasks for you.
So not just reacting to a prompt, but actually taking initiative.
Right. Goal-oriented, autonomous. Booking meetings, filing reports, maybe even doing complex research across hundreds of sources.
Is this catching on? Are developers excited about agents?
Exploding interest. Global Google searches for AI agents shot up over 1,000%, 1,088%, actually in just 16 months leading up to May 2025.
Okay, so developers are jumping on this. What can these agents actually do right now at the cutting edge?
Well, companies like Google, OpenAI, XAI, they're deploying agents for specialized knowledge work. Imagine an agent that can browse hundreds of websites, digest all that info, and write a complex synthesis report in minutes. That's happening now.
Okay, that's pretty advanced. And this all points towards AGI, right? The idea of AI matching human intelligence across the board. How close is that, realistically?
Well, the report defines AGI as systems performing the full range of human intellectual tasks. And it quotes OpenAI CEO Sam Altman saying, essentially, they think they now know how to build it.
That's a bold statement.
It is. But it reflects this growing view that AGI isn't science fiction anymore. It's seen as a reachable threshold. Reaching it could completely redefine software, maybe even our physical world, with things like humanoid robots becoming truly capable.
Okay, that's a lot to take in. The speed is immense.
Yeah.
But let's pivot to the economics. Rapid growth usually means huge costs. What's the financial reality behind this AI boom? You mentioned a cost paradox.
Yeah, it's really interesting. On the one hand, training these huge frontier models is incredibly expensive. Anthropic's CEO mentioned current training runs costing around $100 million. With models in training now maybe costing $1 billion?
$1 billion to train one model.
And he suggested $10 billion models could start training in 2025. It's one of the most capital-intensive things humans have ever done.
Okay, that's the training cost. But the paradox is,
The cost of using the model's inference is plummeting. Look at hardware efficiency. NVIDIA's latest GPUs, like the Blackwell, use something like 105,000 times less energy per token processed compared to their chips from a decade ago.
105,000 times more efficient.
Yeah, and that translates directly to price. The cost for customers to run inferences per million tokens dropped 99.7% in just 2 years, between late 2022 and late 2024.
Wow, almost free to run, relatively speaking.
Getting much, much cheaper.
And this triggers that economic idea, Jevons paradox, right? Where
Yeah.
making something more efficient actually increases its total use.
Exactly. Cheaper inference doesn't mean less spending on AI compute overall. It means more usage, more demand. It creates this powerful flywheel. Lower unit costs drive way more usage, which fuels more demand, which justifies more investment in even better, often more expensive, models and hardware. Total spending goes up.
Which explains the data center construction boom we're seeing. How big is that spending now?
It's massive. Global IT companies spending on data centers hit $455 billion in 2024. Historic levels.
And they're building them incredibly fast.
Unbelievably fast. That XAI facility in Memphis, from an empty factory shell to a running AI data center in 122 days.
That's faster than building a house.
About half the time, yeah. And they scaled it to 200,000 GPUs in just 7 months. It's a sprint.
But all those computers, all that processing, it needs power. The report says no AI without energy. How big is the energy footprint becoming?
It's significant and growing fast. Data centers used about 1.5% of the world's electricity in 2024. And that consumption has been growing around 12% per year since 2017.
How does that compare to overall electricity growth?
It's 4 times faster. And the U.S. is a huge part of that, using about 35% of the global data center electricity. So AI's future is tightly linked to energy production and efficiency.
Okay, huge investment, huge energy needs. Let's talk about how value is actually being captured. Where's the money being made in this AI stack? Starting at the bottom, the chips.
Well, NVIDIA's obviously the big story there. Their data center revenue hit $39 billion by early 2025, up 78% year over year. Their overall revenue is up 28x in 10 years.
28x, incredible.
Yeah, they're capturing about 25% of all that data center CapEx we talked about, and that share is rising.
But it's not just NVIDIA, right? The report mentions custom chips, too.
Correct. You've got Google's TPUs, tensor processing units, their sales estimated up 116% year over year, and Amazon's Trainium chips, maybe up 216% year over year soon.
What's the point of these custom chips?
They're optimized for specific AI tasks, aiming for better price performance than general-purpose GPUs for certain workloads. It creates competition and specialization, which is healthy.
Okay, moving up from chips to compute services, the cloud providers renting out GPU time. How's that market looking?
Exploding. Specialized providers like CoreWeave saw revenue jump 740% year over year to almost $2 billion in 2024.
700% growth.
And Oracle's AI infrastructure revenue went up 50x over 2 years. There's huge demand for just raw AI compute power in the cloud.
And beneath the compute, there's the data layer itself. Labeling data, managing it, is that a big business too?
Absolutely essential. Companies like Scale AI doing data labeling saw revenue grow 160% year over year. VASD data for storage hit $2 billion in lifetime sales really quickly in about 6 years. Every part of the stack is seeing growth.
Okay, now let's get to the top. The actual AI model companies. OpenAI, Anthropic, xAI, Perplexity. They've raised tons of money, but are they making money? The report talks about high burn rates and high valuation.
Right. It's that classic high-growth tech story. They have combined annualized revenues around $11 billion or more, which sounds like a lot. But they've raised something like $95 billion in capital so far. So they're burning cash to fuel that growth. Valuations look high compared to current revenue. OpenAI reportedly at 33x revenue.
So is that sustainable, or is it just hype?
Well, the report points out that their revenue per user might actually be in a reasonable range compared to other successful tech companies at similar stages. And it draws parallels to companies like Amazon, Google, Tesla. They all had years of aggressive cash burn, even near-death moments.
Right, investing heavily for future scale and profit.
Exactly. The idea is that today's valuation reflects the potential future free cash flows. It's a big bet on continued exponential growth and eventual market dominance.
Okay, let's shift focus again to the AI race itself. The competition, the role of open source, and the pretty serious geopolitical dimension. First, the models are evolving fast, becoming multimodal. What does that mean?
Yeah, multimodality is a huge trend. It means the AI models aren't just limited to text anymore. They can understand and integrate different types of data, text, images, audio, video all together.
Like how humans experience the world.
Pretty much. And the number of these large-scale multimodal models has surged, up 1,150% between 2023 and 2025.
And what can you do with a multimodal model that you couldn't before?
Think about diagnosing a machine fault just by pointing your phone camera at it and having the AI explain the problem in plain English.
Okay, that's useful.
Or a doctor uploading an X-ray and getting an AI-generated draft report instantly. It makes AI much more versatile and applicable to real-world tasks.
And just the sheer number of models is increasing across all types.
Oh yeah, language models up 420% in 2 years, vision models up 109% year over year, speech audio up 367%, video up 120%. It's an explosion in development.
With all these models, who's actually winning the usage race? Is it still dominated by the early players?
Well, OpenAI's ChatGPT still leads by a significant margin in terms of website visits, around 5.1 billion globally.
Okay.
But competitors are rising fast. DeepSeek has nearly 200 million visits. xAI's Grok is nearing 500 million. And you've got Perplexity, Anthropic's Claude. They're all gaining ground rapidly.
So the competition is intense.
Incredibly intense. The report mentions this release frenzy like 1 week in May 2025, where Google, Microsoft, Anthropic, and OpenAI all dropped major product announcements almost on top of each other. It's an arms race.
What about open source models? There was a shift towards closed proprietary models for a while, right? Is that changing?
Yeah, around 2019, many leading models became closed source, partly for commercial reasons, partly for safety concerns. And closed models like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini still dominate consumer usage, the monthly active users.
Buzz.
But open source models are catching up surprisingly fast in terms of capability, their performance. The report highlights examples like China's DeepSeek R1 model scoring nearly as well as an OpenAI model on a tough math benchmark. China's becoming a real force in open source.
If open source models are getting close on performance and they're generally cheaper and more customizable, what does that mean for developers?
It means developers are really starting to gravitate towards them. They offer more control, more flexibility, lower costs. You see Meta's Llama model downloads surging of 3.4x in 8 months. And the number of models on Hugging Face, the big AI community hub, grew 33x in about 2.5 years.
So open source is creating this whole other wave of innovation alongside the big closed models.
Exactly. It democratizes access and empowers more builders.
Now, this isn't just a tech race, it's got huge geopolitical implications. The report calls the US-China AI competition a new space race. How does AI translate to global power?
The thinking is that leadership in AI could directly translate to geopolitical leadership economically and militarily. And the report notes how China has really accelerated its AI capabilities, especially since their Made in China 2025 plan. AI is now core to things like their military logistics and autonomous systems. It's a strategic national priority.
And is the evidence showing they're actually catching up or even leading in some areas?
The evidence suggests they're closing the gap very rapidly. Models from companies like DeepSeek, Alibaba, Baidu are achieving performance comparable to or sometimes exceeding U.S. models. Often they're doing it with lower training costs and using domestically produced chips, like from Huawei.
Right. And they lead in other related areas.
Yeah, like industrial robots. China's installed base is larger than the U.S. and the rest of the world combined as of 2023. It shows a massive commitment to automation.
So why is this tech dominance seen as so critical for nations now?
Because AI, along with semiconductors and critical minerals, are increasingly seen as these strategic levers of national power and resilience. It's why you see efforts like the U.S. trying to reshore chip manufacturing and protect its intellectual property.
And this is reflected in global market shifts.
Dramatically. Over 30 years, the U.S. share of global public company market cap went from 53% to 83%. Japan dropped from having 9 of the top 30 companies to 0. China now has 2 companies in the top 30 overall and 3 in the top 30 tech companies, up from 0 in 1995. It shows where economic and technological power is concentrating.
Okay, let's bring it back to the more immediate impact. AI and the future of work, daily life, innovation. How is AI actually changing how people work today?
The feedback seems quite positive, according to the report's data. Over 72% of employed U.S. adults who use AI chatbots say the tools help them work quicker or better.
Quicker and better. In what ways specifically?
Mostly in improving the quality of their work and simply allowing them to do things more quickly. So
Yeah.
real productivity and quality gains being felt by users.
And it's not just workers, right? Students are using these tools heavily too.
Yeah, U.S. students aged 18 to 24 are using AI mainly for things like research, solving problems, learning new topics, even getting advice.
Are they just trying it out or really using it regularly?
The engagement numbers are telling. Daily time spent on the ChatGPT app reportedly rose 202% over 21 months between mid-2023 and spring 2025.
200% increase in daily time spent. People are clearly finding ongoing value.
Yeah, it's becoming integrated into daily workflows for knowledge tasks, not just a novelty.
So with all this usage, how are companies making money from AI? The report mentions two paths, these big horizontal platforms versus more specialized software. What's the idea behind the horizontal platforms?
The vision there is a kind of unified enterprise platform. Imagine something that blends AI-powered productivity tools, search, communication, knowledge management, all into one interface, like Slack meets Notion meets ChatGPT maybe.
Okay, an all-in-one AI workspace, how would that make money?
Instead of selling separate software licenses for each function, they'd charge for the embedded intelligence across the whole platform, selling the smarts, not just the seats.
And we're already seeing the big existing software companies, the SaaS players, rolling out AI features aggressively.
Absolutely, it's happening everywhere. Microsoft's GitHub Copilot for coding, used by over 77,000 organizations, adoption up 180% year over year.
Wow.
Microsoft 365 Copilot seats grew more than 10x in 18 months.
Wow, other examples.
Adobe Firefly for creative AI generated 20 billion assets by April 2025. Atlassian Intelligence hit 1 million monthly active users. Zoom's AI companion usage grew 68% in one quarter. Canva's AI tool saw 10 billion uses. Salesforce got 3,000 paying customers for its AI agent tool within 90 days.
Okay, so the incumbents are definitely integrating AI rapidly across the board.
It's table stakes now.
And the big consumer tech companies are doing the same, leveraging their huge user bases.
Exactly. Meta AI is in front of nearly 1 billion monthly active users across Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. X's Grok saw visits jump 42x after a new release. Google's Gemini chatbot hit 400 million monthly users, and AI overviews in search reached 1.5 billion monthly users.
1.5 billion, that's incredible reach.
Yeah. Amazon's using AI, Rufus, for shopping help. TikTok launched an AI assistant for business content creation. Even Apple's seeing stronger iPhone sales where Apple Intelligence is available. They're all pushing AI features out fast.
Seems like a massive investment phase. But what about the newer pure play AI companies? Are they actually generating real revenue yet, and how fast?
The growth is phenomenal. OpenAI's annualized revenue reportedly hit $3.7 billion, up over 1,000% year over year. Anthropic hit $2 billion annualized, a 20x increase in 18 months. Perplexity hit $120 million annualized, up 7.6x in 14 months. Glean, for enterprise search, hit $100 million annualized, up 10x in 2 years.
Okay, those are serious growth numbers, faster than traditional software startups.
Significantly faster. The report notes AI companies are reaching $5 million in annual recurring revenue, or ARR, about 35% faster than typical SaaS companies did 24 months versus 37 months.
So the path to generating subscription revenue seems quicker in AI.
It suggests a very strong market pull and willingness to pay early on.
And then there's the other path, the specialized software, embedding AI into specific industry workflows. How's that playing out?
This is where AI gets really targeted, using proprietary industry data to solve specific problems. And the growth is often explosive. In software engineering, one tool, AnySphere Cursor AI, apparently went from $1 million to $300 million ARR in about 2 years.
300 million, wow.
For product development, Lovable grew 13x to $50 million ARR in just 5 months.
Okay, these are niche tools seeing hypergrowth. What about big sectors like healthcare or legal?
Healthcare, Abridge, that AI scribe company, went from $50 million to $117 million in contracted ARR in about 5 months, helped by that big Kaiser Permanente rollout. Legal. Harvey grew from $10 million to $70 million ARR in 15 months. Customer service. Decagon went from $1 million to $10 million ARR in a year. Financial services. AlphaSense grew from $150 million to $420 million ARR in 2 years.
So tailoring AI to specific high-value workflows in big industries is proving very lucrative very quickly.
Exactly. Leveraging domain-specific data seems key there.
Beyond these areas, the report lists a whole range of other potential frontiers for AI. What else is on the horizon?
Yeah, the list is long. Medical discovery, precision manufacturing, multi-purpose robots, autonomous scientific research, optimizing supply chains, cybersecurity, personalized education, autonomous finance, climate monitoring, managing energy grids.
So basically touching almost every complex system.
Pretty much. They highlight protein sequencing as an example, vital for new medicines. AI model size there is growing 290% a year, and techniques like AlphaFold have expanded the known data by 1000x. It's enabling breakthroughs.
So wrapping this all up, it's undeniable. AI is transforming, well, everything. How we work, where investment goes, what leadership even means. It's exciting, but also maybe a little unnerving given the speed.
It is. But connecting back to the sources, there's definitely a case for long-term optimism presented. It's grounded in that fierce competition we talked about, the falling costs and rising access to compute, the incredible global adoption, and hopefully thoughtful leadership guiding it. All these factors could steer things towards really positive outcomes, unleashing innovation we can barely imagine. It really does have that feeling, that magic, like the early web or email. But as the report stresses, it's happening even quicker.
Right. So maybe the final thought to leave people with is this. With this breakneck speed, this global race, these blurring lines between giant platforms and specialized tools, who wins? Is it the companies controlling the foundational models, the ones controlling the distribution channels like search or social media? Or is it the players who figure out how to deliver the most tangible value in specific critical workflows? Something to think about. What does that mean for innovation, for access, for all of us in the years ahead?